So today it's a very special edition, guys. So I got my first drone today. So I actually went for the Mavic Air 2 fly mock camera. So we'll do like a basic review. I don't want to go in too much in detail. I'm sure everyone knows what this does. So hopefully it will be a crazy. I think it's going to be. So let's see what it looks like. So let's see what's on the inside. It comes in this nice bag. How sexy is that? And I must say the fabric feels amazing. It feels like a really good quality fabric. The zips also feel good. That's always the first thing I feel if I see zips, is the quality. And I must say this really looks amazing. So let's see what we have over here on the inside. Battery again, USB charging port, charging cable, charging adapter, charging up, and obviously more adapters. Remote control, manual, documentation. Probably the most important one for me being a beginner. Propellers, more propellers, ND filters. Great case, by the way, DJI. Also got an SD card with it. Great connection from Drone World. Go check them out if you live in South Africa. droneworld.co.za. And then drone. So basically I've heard that you should take off all these little stickers before you start flying it. So this is going to be exciting. I'm so excited, guys. I hope you can tell it. And then your third battery you get here on top. So that's it, guys. Basically that's all you get in the Fly More Combo box. Let's see what it looks like. So looking at the DJI app, first let's go into photo mode. So you will have photo mode, just normal single photo mode, which you see on the screen. Then we go into 48 megapixel photo mode. So it's a bit high quality. Then you have smart photo mode, which it sets some setting itself. You have other ones like AEB, burst shots, and then timed shots as well. Then we're going to go into video mode. So this is HDR recorded at 30 frames per second, just color corrected obviously. Then we're going to have a look at slow motion. You can go all the way up to 240 FPS at 1080p. So at normal video mode, this is shot at 30 frames per second, also color corrected, and you can go all the way up to 60 frames per second on this. You can also shoot at 2.7K as well as 1080p. So now we're going to quickly look at some quick shots. Later on we'll have a chapter regarding this, we'll show each individual one. Now we're going to take a look at the hyperlapse mode. So you have 4 different ones: freeze, circle, course lock, and waypoint. This is a great example of course lock one. And then obviously you can play around with the settings, change them. Now we're going to go deeper into controls and settings. So basically when you look at the safety controls, you have your max altitude, max distance, auto return to home, which you can play around and set them according to what you want it to be. And then if you scroll down, you'll see other calibrating tools, as also the unlock geo zones if you're in authorization zone, or finding your drone if you lost your drone. Then we're going to move into controls. So basically here it's your units, kilometers, imperial, whatever you want to use. The most important one for me is the phone charging one. So while you're flying, it charges your phone, which is an incredible setting for me. Then we're going to move over to camera. So in camera you have different formats you can choose, resolutions as well as photo types, and then also if you want to change the flicker rate. So you can select 8K there, for instance. If you scroll down, you'll find more settings, the histogram for overexposure, and also overexposure warning, which they indicate on your screen, which you can also automatically look at as well, and then your grid lines. And then transmission and about's the last section. Then we're going to take a look at some of the ProTune settings, like on the drone itself, to change the EV compensation. So there's automatic mode where you can just change the EV, change the brightness and then lock it to that brightness, so it takes exactly the whole shot in that brightness, which is pretty cool. I've used it a couple of times. You can switch over to manual mode, which is a bit more extensive. Choose your own shutter speeds. There's multiple different ones you can use your ND filters with. You can change your ISO as well, and change it to whatever rating you want. So in the bottom left you have your map, where you can actually find your home point, and also your drone, where it actually sits. It's very important to figure out which direction you should fly back home. And then on your top right you have your battery percentage, which is the most crucial part, just to keep checking that. And then also it indicates the duration you have left before your battery dies. Now we're going to browse over to Quickshots. So as you can see, these green dots, you just select one, and then automatically it will do the quick shots from the person you selected. You'll see when you do active track shots, you drag a block over someone and it does something similar. And then if you go into quick shots, there's multiple different ones you get. We'll look at them just now. So the first one is drone mode. Then we have rocket mode. Then circle mode. So it flies again like a vulture around you. Then helix mode, something similar to circular mode, but it increases the altitude. And then the coolest one for me, asteroid mode. How crazy is that? So the next part will be active track. So you drag a box over you on the screen, and then you can go, for instance, the first one's called trace mode. So it just follows you straight path. Then you get parallel mode, so it flies parallel to the movement that you are doing. Then you have spotlight mode, so it's stationary and it just follows you. Then you have circular track mode, again vulture mode, circles you. You can also, what you can do is you can change altitude as well. And then you get also circular track for tracking objects as well, like a phone tower or, for instance, these floodlights. So the first thing you always do is try and take off this gimbal protector here in front. So it's just basically there for when you transport it, that's all. So it just clips off. Press your finger in right around about there somewhere. You just clip that off and then it's free to move. Please remember to remove this, otherwise if you're gonna fly this with this on, you might really damage this one. So the drone also has a neat light by pressing down on a function button. In normal and tripod mode, both of these, if you switch to both of them, at low speed and normal mode, what happens is that the obstacle avoidance is activated. As soon as you switch to sport mode, the obstacle avoidance is turned off. I'll quickly explain that by flying close to the tree and then just show the difference between the two. So in tripod and normal mode, you'll see now, as you can hear, it starts beeping already. So it means it's detecting something which it doesn't like. As you can hear, it's like just a normal reverse camera or reverse sensors on a vehicle. So as soon as I switch to sport mode now, you'll automatically hear the beeps gone. So you can fly as close as you want to that tree and will automatically not see anything.